What is happening to car culture?
Oh,
We've discussed gatekeeping at Cars and Coffee in the past previously because of that one in Texas that said no Mustangs, Challengers, or Camaros. That was a hot topic, sparked a lot of debate. But the debate today, is Cars and Coffee the best or worst thing to happen to car culture? Because I feel like car culture is going downhill for a number of reasons and on both ends of the spectrum, right? And before I get into this, I've seen some posts by, a guy named Casey Putch, who's whatever. He's constantly burning bridges and like Cars and Coffee is stupid. I'm out. You know, the big like I'm burning my bridges. I'm announcing my exit. And then he keeps coming back around.
It's like,
it's
cool,
just
bro.
always drama. This is not what we're trying to do here, right? He seems to be disillusioned every other month with the car world. I'm not disillusioned. I think I would like to deconstruct it. So deconstruction versus being disillusioned, and just say like, what is wrong? What's the root of what's wrong? What's good? And what does the next generation hold? Like, how do we kind of continue the passion and not let it turn into, like, on one side of things, we have the street takeovers, which are, in my opinion, not car culture, but boy, does it seem like they're getting more attention than regular car culture. And is that the future of it? So but Cars and Coffee. Some places it's a business, it's a for-profit thing, sponsors, organized, the whole works. You've got thousands of cars. Other places it's an organic get-together. A lot of places it's synonymous with like almost street takeovers. You have everybody in BMWs and Mustangs trying to leave in a glorified fashion, but
they get stuck in the row of people on the side of the road.
And that's a problem that they're wrecking, and that's ruining it for everybody else. But that's also kind of like putting us in straitjackets, right? Everybody's got to behave at all the car events. So what's the line? Is it Cars and Coffee? Is Cars and Coffee the problem?
I think that Cars and Coffee is too broad of a term because it means essentially all of the things that you talked about, but the street takeovers. Like Cars and Coffee can be this for-profit organization that has 1,000 cars, or it can be, 30 cars at a local coffee shop, just like that, get together and have a chill time and, maybe go for a drive before getting there, some groups that show up.
Well, let's talk about Cars and Coffee as we know it, kind of the commercialized thing where every city has a major event and it's a less formal thing versus a car show, right? So the previous generation had car shows. You register, you get trophies and awards, and it's very organized. You're there all day. You bring your lawn chair. The new iteration of car shows is what we know as Cars and Coffee. It's you go for a couple hours, you walk around, you look at everybody's cars. And in that sense, I think that's the best thing to happen to car culture, because old car culture is I'm bringing my special car out, planting my rear end in my lawn chair, and everybody come look at my special car because I'm so special and I'm going to tell you about it. And I better damn well win a trophy so I can feel special and be validated that I'm special. Cars and Coffee is I'm going to go park my cool car and then walk and look at other people's cars and engage with other people. I think that's the best thing ever to happen to car culture. Yeah, but it's going downhill.
Well, and I think I was always so amazed that that's how I felt, because I grew up with the car shows that you talked about. Like my dad, I would go with him to a few, and it was you sit by your car and you just like wait for people to come up to you. And I was like, no, when I go to a car show, I like leave my car and I don't see it again until I leave. Like I'm not there to see my car. I enjoyed my car on the way there, but I want to see my friends, or I want to see the other stuff that people brought out. And I do agree that that is the best thing. I think everything else about Cars and Coffee is just get it out of here.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm over it. It's gone too far. It's not what the spirit of Cars and Coffee was originally. So And I think
hold on. What was the spirit though? Cars and Coffee started as a business in California, and he was trying to franchise it.
Oh, I guess you're right.
So like the idea was there, but it was also, I'm going to make money on this, build this brand. So therein lies the question, right? Okay. People think the same thing about car dealers. You should, the underlying premise of people's feelings is that nobody should make money off something that is this passion hobby, right? Cars are just, it's a passion, it's a love. So if you make money off car shows or selling cars or anything, you're evil. So do you think the profit thing is gross? Like, how do our car morals in that regard make any sense? Or should somebody be allowed to make money off of it as a business?
I don't think something like this should need to be a business. I don't think that you should need to have the organization required to make it a business.
But when you have 1,000 people,
that's a problem. Get them out.
Coming in.
Too many.
But
more gatekeeping.
But if people want to go, if there's 1,000 cars that want to go, like there's a number of very large, successful Cars and Coffee around here. You can't do that without significant expense. You have to have either volunteers or paid staff. You have to have an insurance policy. You have to have a place. You probably have to pay cops and or security to be there. Like there's money that goes into it. If you've created something like that, why can't you make a bunch of money off of it?
So if someone building that up as an entrepreneur to make this such a thing, that doesn't make me feel icky, but I feel like the events of that size with that organization, whatever else, those are the problem. Because
so size is the problem.
Size plugged in with the rise of social media. Like, I think you lose what I believe is the spirit of Cars and Coffee, what I personally love. So this is all like my personal stuff. Like, I'm sure that all the massive Cars and Coffees are a good time. I just don't, it's not what I want. I want my solution is that you need more gatekeeping, but not in the way that it sounds off the rip.
Okay. Let's go there. Gatekeeping versus sharing the passion, right? The car community is supposed to be inclusive.
And I still want it to be.
The greatest car events in the world are incredibly exclusive.
Yes. So I don't mean, when I say gatekeeping, it's fun to say that, and I like ruffling people's feathers because they're like, oh, how could you gatekeep? Everybody is welcome, but it's not a widely publicized, advertised thing. It is an organically grown group of people who bring other groups of people to just come and enjoy cars. I don't care what you drive. It doesn't have to be a $10 million Ferrari, but I think, there's like, it's almost like the not hive mind, the zeitgeist of like Cars and Coffee or whatever has gotten too big, and we need that to like break down into smaller events. So they will be local. And so I guess there will be a barrier to entry that you need to know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy, that some of these events are going on. But I feel like that's how you get people that are actually like into it.
So you're saying the gatekeeping happens on the relational, personal level, not a list of cars.
Yes.
Interesting.
And
that makes sense, because the best events, the original Cars and Coffee we started in Cleveland, was people. We just knew that those people were car people, and so they bring interesting cars. They weren't necessarily expensive or cheap, because I think there's two problems going into this, right? You can't just say, well, you can only have expensive cars for Cars and Coffee to be good, because there's just as many non-car enthusiasts with lots of money that are chasing clout just by buying something that, the Lamborghini Aventador that they can just rev to the moon to get attention at Cars and Coffee.
Every single one.
Porsche or whatever it is. Like, it's just rich people being hoonigans, right? It's no different than the Volkswagen with the pop tune. Both are equally distasteful. So you can have zero money and be a proper car guy. You can even not have a cool car or interesting car and be a proper car guy.
100%. And in this future that I'm laying out, like, even if you don't have a cool car, you're still welcome.
But maybe not worthy. Like,
I see where you're going.
Not unworthy of being a car guy, but we were struggling with this with our Cars and Coffee. and we finally just let it go because we're like, it's too much work, is nobody goes to an event to share passion about a boring car. You can be a car guy and have a boring car, but nobody wants to see that at Cars and Coffee. Cars and Coffee is a combination of the people with a genuine interest and cars that you can genuinely be interested in at any end of the price spectrum. But when it starts getting overrun by BMW 3 Series and Audi A4s just because they put wheels on them, like, that's great. That's something you're passionate about. But this is normal traffic. It's no longer Cars and Coffee. It's tea and traffic. Like, there has to be some way of regulating that. And the Cleveland Cars and Coffee, as we know it now, I feel like has become everything I kind of don't like what we're talking about.
100%.
Doesn't help that the organizer is a convicted criminal. You know, that's some other drama there. But yeah.
There was a quote that I should have looked up before going down this path so I could actually sound intelligent for once. But, you know, it's something around like, if something is for everyone, it's not for anyone. Like, I don't know, that kind of vibe. Like, so there's another Cars and Coffee event that happens a couple times a year around us, and I have noticed that the Mustang guys show up 30 minutes before it starts and block off an entire corner of the parking lot with all of their 2015 plus Mustangs that all look the same. Just great. They're beautiful cars, but like,
they get the same about Porsche 911.
100%. I am a member of a guilty party. So, you know, they block off a corner.
Green.
And then with a gray interior, then the Audi and the BMW guys take up another corner, and then all of the clout chasing rich people with their Aventador SVJs and everything else take up like the front because everybody's got to run. All the like kids with their cameras like falling over themselves to go take a photo of this car that's been at every one of these events. Like, so you get all of these.
Had to throw that in there.
Well, that's the other thing is they're at all of the same events. So like there is a level that is disappointing in that a lot of these cars are not exclusive or rare or whatever anymore, which is great because you get to see them.
This is why I think the Concours model will survive. It needs to change and be updated in terms of the judging and the stuffiness. Like if the Concours of the world could say, okay, let's take the exclusivity and the exciting nature of this amazing event with curated cars that aren't at all the other events, but apply the Cars and Coffee business model, the original kind of idea of the passion, a little bit more low key, and reach that next generation. I feel like that's the future of car events. And side note, plug, Northville Concours is run by young kids, and we're doing that. That's up in Michigan in July. So we're taking some cars up there, and I haven't been yet, but I'm excited to see what they're doing because I feel like they are trying to bridge that gap of we're a young generation that wants to kind of do things our way, but at the same time bring the greatness of the previous generation of car shows and car events along. So I think I'm pretty excited about that. But back to what you said earlier, is the filming, the social media. I think that is the real downfall, right? Because people wouldn't be leaving car shows trying to show off if there wasn't 40 people lined up with cameras. Like, I'm going to make you famous. I mean, that's where the line between street takeovers and Cars and Coffee is blurred.
Yeah.
It's everybody wants to be famous.
Well, and I think it's hard to resist not doing a pull as you're coming out of Cars and Coffee, or like trying to slide like all the Mustang guys do. I know out of the Cars and Coffee when people are filming. Like, I feel kind of like a little bit of a putz when I just kind of leave like a normal human because I don't do that kind of stuff.
I do. And here's the thing. And I think we'll end on this because we're running out of time for this segment, but there's so much more with social media that I think has ruined automotive culture. Just honestly,
ruined a lot of things.
Yes. The accessibility of amazing cars. When I was a kid, these cars were so much more unicorns because I had to search them out, and it was work to find out when I could actually see one versus social media. They're just everywhere. Like, it's no big deal to see Ferraris and stuff anymore. So, but in terms of how it encourages people to do dumb stuff who shouldn't be doing it, there's a reason, there's a good reason that car guys like to leave Cars and Coffee in a trail of smoke, because that's part of the passion. These cars sound good. It's awesome to do a burnout. If you can control a slide out of a parking lot, everybody loves seeing it. And I will be honest, like, I miss the days that I could do that, because I used to be that guy. I had a loud Corvette. I had a loud 66 Mustang. I left the Porsche of Beechwood Cars and Coffee totally sideways in my 66 Mustang. There's no crowds outside. Everybody literally like didn't expect it to happen. They turned their heads around, all thought I was going to wreck because I was just like full throttle, totally sideways going out in traffic. Perfect slide right into my lane. And like, but I didn't do it for an audience. I did it because I'm like, I love my car. This sounds awesome. This feels awesome. And everybody appreciated it. But that was before everybody was doing it and there's cameras and people were getting hit. And like, that's quote unquote ruined it for everyone. But I miss the days when you could do those shenanigans, right? I don't like having to behave. I just feel like if you're going to misbehave, you got to have the skills to do it and not ruin it for everyone.
Well, and everybody thinks they have the skills. And you didn't really do it for attention. You did it because you enjoyed doing those things with a car. And I think that is potentially the crux of all of my issues with this, is it feels like a lot of these are not for the enjoyment of cars and for the enjoyment of fellow car people. It is for fame and clout and showing off and wealth posturing and everything else that is just real gross.
Yep. And quickly, there's an article, the city of Cleveland is going after property owners with $100 daily fines if your property is declared a nuisance with regard to car events. So like, you know, malls and shopping centers and stuff like that. If you have these car events, if they get complaints. Now, this is kind of silly because you have to get 3 complaints in order to maybe be declared a nuisance. And then the 4th complaint, you have to submit a plan to safety director. So again, another office reference. It's like when Jim gets a warning for being tardy from Dwight, and it's like, well, if you get 3 warnings and you get an official citation, 5 more of those citations, you know, whatever. So I don't know what they're trying to do here. I think Cleveland has way better things to do than worry about this, like maybe getting stolen cars and stuff. But it's another example of where the bad part of car culture, the street takeovers and the people wrecking, leaving Cars and Coffee is ruining it for everybody else. So anyway, let's move on to Plate to Sample, everybody's favorite game.
Let's go.
And this is brought to you by Soul and Spine, Alan Hoover, soulandspine.com. If you've got pain in your back, crunching, tightness, whatever, have been recommended surgery or injections, well, give him a shot, no pun intended, and maybe he can help your body heal itself. So that's not a medical recommendation. That's just what he does. You have to consult him. He's a medical professional. Let's see.
I've got 5.
Okay, you start because I'm still trying to find my folder.
Nice. I came prepared, Doug.
I'm prepared. I just can't find the folder.
This one comes to us locally from Tim G. Hi, officer.
Camaro ZL1.
Nope. It is very, I don't know why this plate. Nope. I don't know why this plate is on this car.
Mazda Miata?
It's a little closer. It's a Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Is it a Trackhawk?
No, I think it's just a normal, it's just a normal car. Tim was like, I wonder if they're hauling drugs or something. Wild.
All right. Well, I've got one for you. 1 off 1.
Corvette.
OFF1.
No. Is it a PTS 911?
Closer.
Is it a Is it like a Ferrari or something? Like
Nope.
a Ferrari?
It's a Faience yellow Carrera GT.
Oh.
I don't know what makes that a one-off one.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a great color, but that was a standard color, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
So I don't know. Who knows? It's a picture. Maybe it's paint to sample signal yellow, but I don't think so. It looks like Faience yellow to me, but it's probably an interior option that nobody else got, you know.
And then you're like, does it actually look good? Next up, a fan of the podcast, Johnny, sent this to me from, I believe he's in Alabama. Never. And it's on a "Don't Tread on Me" plate that apparently they...
Ford pickup truck.
You are right. Ford F-150.
Heck yes. Does it have a gun rack?
I'm sure it does.
Oh, man. This one from Dom Marconi. Love this one. Oregon license plate CSHFLO. Cash flow.
Oh, Is this cash flow? So they have money. Is it a 911?
Nope.
No. Is it like a fancy sedan, like an S-Class?
Nope. Come on. Think.
Cash flow.
Come on.
I don't know.
It's another base model Mercedes.
Are you serious?
Yes.
I was like, there's no way that is on like an E-Class or something.
It's a 12-year-old Mercedes ML350. Previously, it was on an 07 ML. But surprise, surprise, there's no lien on the title. They own it outright.
God. They do have cash flow.
I was totally expecting that they were, usually when people talk about cash flow, it's keyword for, not keyword, it's code word for leverage. I'm leveraged, but I got cash flow. Okay, well, cash is better than cash flow. Your turn.
Next up from Andrew S. is Sassy Fish. SASYFSH.
Fish.
What is a fish?
I feel like there's a clue here that I'm not getting.
I don't know if I would get this because I don't normally think about these cars very often.
Oh,
that's my hint for you.
A salmon pink Porsche 911.
No, I think about Porsches all the time, Doc.
I know. You got me, and I'm gonna slap myself here because
Plymouth Barracuda.
Oh yeah, okay, good. It's good,
and it's green.
Okay, here's a good one. We're gonna have fun with this one. GI99LES Giggles. Is this one of those Jeep Trackhawks? I feel like I'd giggle a lot. Yes, it is.
My God, seriously?
But not anymore.
What?
Not anymore. I looked the plate up, and it is now on a 2021 Tesla Model S.
Oh,
fast, but not giggles.
There were so many more giggles with the Trackhawk.
Sneaky EV plate of the day.
That was good. There's some layers to that. For you, Alt 401k. This comes to us from Paul K.
I've seen this one.
On a
I've
Georgia?
seen it.
Is it Georgia plate?
Yes. Alt 401k. I don't remember what it was. It was on an exotic car of some type. Lamborghini.
Not quite that
Porsche
exotic.
GT3.
Yes, 997 GT3.
Yes.
Yeah.
I cheated a little bit because I have seen that. But
it's so good.
All right. CRPLVAN.
Is it Crumple Zone or no?
Cripple Van.
Cripple Van. Is this like a Chrysler Town and Country that has been okay? Is it an old ambulance?
Nope.
Is it an old hearse?
Nope.
What
It's a Ford Transit van.
I accept. Okay. That
one courtesy of Ariel Barrera. Thank you for that one.
Last one from me, related to the previous one, sort of. Ryan M. sent in his 401k.
Corvette.
No.
Because it says his.
You are in the right direction.
Corvette and Mustang people do the his and hers plate.
Yes.
So Mustang?
No.
Camaro?
Not in the fact that this isn't going to be a 401k.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It is a
modern exotic car.
It's a white 944.
Ooh.
I think you need your 401k to maintain that.
Well, that's what I was going to say. That's where it went.
Yeah,
Took out a 401k loan to pay for the timing belt service.
Yeesh.
Last one, UFNWSH, you effing wish.
Oh, this is a Mustang or a Camaro or a Corvette.
No.
What?
It is a Lamborghini Huracan Evo Spider.
I feel like he wishes he could have had enough money for an Aventador or something.
Well, there is a lien on the title. He did finance it. So I feel like that's a little bit of posturing, right?
He wishes he had the money for the car that he's got now.
Well, he would argue he's using other people's money. But the ironic thing is this came, the video that this plate was spotted on was in Charleston, South Carolina. It was parked in a known no parking zone and was being towed for parking tickets as this video was happening. So everybody was like, you effing wish you didn't park there.
Effing wish you knew how to pay for parking. Amazing.
Yep.
Nuts for Sticks is a brand celebrating the manual transmission in all its forms. So forget those flappy paddles because we like shifting ourselves. Check out our fun and funny stick-themed shirts at nutsforsticks.com and save 10% on your order using the discount code SwitchCast. That's nutsforsticks.com and use code SwitchCast.
Thank you for joining us for SwitchCast with Doug Tabbutt and Tyler Sanders, produced by Ethan Huffnagel. SwitchCast is an automotive entertainment and opinion show, and nothing we say should be taken very seriously. We do not give tax, investment, legal, emotional, or professional advice, and the only licenses we hold are driver's licenses. The opinions expressed on this show are exclusively held by the people pontificating at that moment and do not reflect the values of our producers or sponsors. Our theme music is provided by Emily and Ivory. You can stream their full album on Spotify or SoundCloud. If you like this show, you can stream it in its entirety on your favorite audio podcast platform. Check out switchcast.live for more info.